Hello and welcome to this video on CFA versus SEM. What's the difference? My name is Geiser. I'm an instructor and statistical consultant with QuantFish. In this video, I'm going to explain the difference between confirmatory factor analysis, CFA, and structural equation modeling, SEM. So let's get started and let's take a look at confirmatory factor analysis first. Confirmatory factor analysis consists of a measurement model, and so in the simplest case that would be a single factor here with three indicators or observed variables. The factor here is denoted as f1. The indicators or observed variables are y1 through y3, and so in a measurement model like this we have the factor explaining the covariances between the observed variables, and then in addition we have error variables epsilon that characterize measurement error and or specific influences. In most cases, confirmatory factor analysis uses more than one factor. So for example, we may have two more, f2 and f3, and in many cases, probably in most cases, the factors are allowed to correlate. So we estimate covariances between the different factors that are sometimes denoted as phi. So for example, phi 1, 2 indicates the covariance between f1 and f2 in the unstandardized solution. In the standardized solution, that would be the correlation between the factors. And so those correlations in the standardized CFA solution are often of particular interest because they tell us something about relationships between different factors, and that can be used as indicators of convergent validity and or of discriminant validity depending on what the factors represent. And of particular importance, those latent correlations are corrected for measurement error. Therefore, they may be less attenuated or less biased by measurement error and may give you a clearer picture of the true relationships between the variables that you're interested in. So in a confirmatory factor analysis, we estimate the factor loadings, we estimate error variances, we sometimes also estimate intercepts for observed variables and potentially latent means. But of particular interest typically are the factor loadings and the factor correlations. So the structural or latent variable model in a confirmatory factor analysis consists of those factor correlations or covariances in the unstandardized solution, and there are no direct relationships estimated between the factors, only non-directional relationships, covariances or correlations. And that's the main difference between CFA and SEM. In a structural equation model or SEM, we also have factors. So for example, we may have the same three-factor structure as in the confirmatory factor analysis. However, now we are estimating one or more direct effects between those factors in the structural model. So for example, we may hypothesize that factor f1 caused factor f2, and then factor f2 may be hypothesized to cause factor f3, leading to a mediation model with an indirect effect from factor f1 to factor f3. So now we are more specific about the relationships that we hypothesize for our factors, whereas in the confirmatory factor model, we only assumed that the factors can be correlated. So they all were allowed to freely covary. We had no specific hypotheses about those effects or what kinds of effects may exist between those factors. Now we are more specific, and we also here are leaving out a direct effect in this example from f1 to f3. So we could also estimate that path from f1 to f3, but in this example here we're not doing that, and so this means that we are implicitly assuming that the effect from f1 to f3 is fully mediated through factor f2, and this is something that we can test with this structural equation model. So a structural equation model then has a structural or latent variable model that consists of more than just covariances between the factors. We can also have covariances. So we could have, for example, also a situation where f1 and f2 both predict factor f3, so they both have a direct effect on f3, but we're not assuming that f1 causes f2 or f2 causes f1, but rather we're only estimating a covariance between the two. So then this would still count as a structural equation model. So basically what you could say is that a confirmatory factor analysis is a special case of an SEM where the factors are only correlated and where you're not assuming any direct effects between the factors. So then in a structural equation model, we're estimating a different type of parameter. So those coefficients that come with the direct regression paths here are often abbreviated as beta. So those are regression or path coefficients in often linear regressions of the factors on other factors, and so that's in contrast to the phi coefficients in a confirmatory factor model that reflect merely covariances or correlations. And then as a result of having regression paths in an SEM, we also have residuals. So those are variables that do not exist in a confirmatory factor analysis. R2 and R3 are the residual variables associated with factor f2 and factor f3 that characterize variance in f2 and f3 that cannot be predicted in a linear regression on f1 and f2 respectively. So those are residual variances or residual variables that come with those variables that are dependent factors or endogenous variables, as we say. And so that's another difference between confirmatory factor analysis and structural equation modeling, that in a confirmatory factor analysis we have only exogenous variables, meaning all factors are independent variables, there's no dependent variable, and as a result there's no latent residual in a confirmatory factor analysis. Whereas in a structural equation model we do have endogenous variables in addition to exogenous variables. So in this case f2 and f3 are endogenous variables or dependent variables. Their variances are explained in the model, whereas factor f1 is an exogenous variable whose variance is not explained by other variables. That's why f1 does not have a residual variable r1, because it's not an endogenous variable. f2 and f3 are endogenous and therefore come with residual terms. So in summary, the structural model of a SEM is more complex than the structural model of a CFA. In a CFA, we typically only estimate covariances. We don't have to estimate those covariances. We can also set them to 0. But what we're definitely not doing in a CFA is estimating regression paths beta, whereas in a structural equation model, we typically have one or more regression effects or direct paths that we can test. And then as a result, we can test quite complex relationship structures in an SEM, such as mediation models, where we have indirect effects in addition to direct effects, which is something that we cannot test with a CFA. I hope you found this video useful. To learn more about confirmatory factor analysis and structural equation modeling, my name is Geiser. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.